Previously on Ace Attorney.
Ow!
This is going to get ugly.
Stop your pathetic babbling and testify like a man.
Testify truthfully.
I'm going to tell you everything. This is the world of Larice Denim. I do exactly what I saw.
Are you claiming to have seen the silhouette of the defendant flying over a bridge that was engulfed in flames? On the night of the murder, Iris wasn't wearing her hood. She had given it to Wright as a gift. Are you going to change your story now?
What are you talking about?
Huh?
Edgy! What's going on with Iris and Nick? Why you... Nick, you dog!
I do believe that this unbelievably mysterious sketch is destined to disappear, discredited and discarded. Straight into the garbage.
Ow! I was going crazy, bitch.
What is it now, witness?
It feels like I've been waiting 25 years for this very day to come. Edgy! Today is the day I get to completely stupefy you.
What?
What is the meaning of your outburst, witness?
I hate to have to do this, but I have some definitive evidence.
Definitive?
Evidence?
Iris did indeed come flying over the burning bridge. And I, Larice Denim, shall prove it!
I didn't expect to ask this again, but we shall be needing your testimony once again. God dang it. Tell us anything you know concerning the defendant as depicted on this sketch. And show us your evidence that this nightmare was actually a reality.
Okay, I hope you're ready, Edgy, because I'm going to feed you a whopping serving of pain!
You've been serving us a whopping serving of pain this whole time. Trust me.
When I reached Dusky Bridge, she was already gone. I was so worried, so I frantically searched all over for her. That led to finding this beautiful crystal sphere, half buried in the snow. I'm sure Iris was simply wearing a spare hood. After all, no one else could have lost a crystal sphere that night.
A crystal sphere?
This one. Pretty, isn't it? But finders keepers, losers weepers, na-na-na-na-na, pfft.
That sphere. Where did you find it?
Let me see. Around here somewhere. Looks about right.
And it was half buried in the snow.
It had pretty much stopped snowing by then. But there was still some falling as I walked to the bridge.
The court accepts this crystal sphere.
That's mine, okay? I want it back afterward.
In your dreams, Yahuza. There's something on it, isn't there?
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, it's a bloodstain!
What? A bloodstain? I think I know whose it is, too.
You ready, Edgy? By tomorrow morning, you'll be calling me Master Larry. Yeah, I like the sound of that. No one's gonna push me around anymore.
Didn't you want to be called Larice Denim only a few minutes ago? I think I know exactly who this crystal sphere belonged to. Miss Elise Denim. But what was it doing there? I can only wonder.
Edgy, what's that look on your face? It looks very angry. Why are you
Objection! Larry, that night, there was someone. Someone who lost a crystal sphere.
There was? Who? Who was this stupid idiot?
Miss Elise Denim, the mentor to a stupid idiot.
The victim?
I have a photo of her here. And on the end of her staff, you can see a familiar-looking crystal sphere.
Hey! That's my photograph! Give it back! Ow!
A crystal sphere like that is quite easy to find. I have one just like it on my brooch.
They look nothing alike. In any case, please take a look at this. This is the victim's staff, found at the scene of the crime.
Ah! The crystal sphere! It's gone!
What?
Just what does this mean?
If anyone jumped or flew across the bridge that night, it certainly was not Iris, after all. She was not wearing her hood. More importantly, the crystal sphere found at the landing site was not hers either.
That means the one who flew and dropped the sphere was the victim, Miss Elise de Nim?
Objection! The fool alongside another fool on a fool's errand to reach a foolish conclusion. First of all, the sketch, which I prefer to call a scribble, is ridiculous. People cannot fly. Thus, it is rejected.
You can't do that! I saw with my own eyes!
And this crystal sphere. This is nothing more than a red herring.
You honestly believe that?
Give it some thought, and I'm sure you'll realize it as well, Miles Edgeworth. Elise de Nim was in her room on the night of the murder. There was no reason for her to go to Dusky Bridge. Therefore, this sphere cannot be related to this case. That is all.
Objection! Miss Franziska von Kammer. The only people who'll accept that explanation are scatterbrains and clowns.
Why are you pointing at me?
The victim's crystal sphere was found near the bridge on the night of her murder. Yet you expect us to believe this has nothing to do with the case?
Objection! That crystal sphere. It was probably thrown away at the bridge after the murder.
After the murder?
Yeah, there's blood on the crystal sphere, isn't there? This naturally suggests that it was thrown away after the murder took place. The killer placed it there to throw the investigation off the scent. The same reason he drew that ridiculous sketch.
What? You mean I'm the killer? No, wow!
Enough joking. Just when does this crystal sphere appear near the foot of the bridge? Unless this can be proven in some way, I refuse to believe this is related to the case.
She makes a valid point. There is no evidence that Elise de Nim left Hazakura Temple that night. However, if somehow this crystal sphere can be proven to have been dropped before the victim was killed, then this case is going to transform into something else entirely.
Your response, Mr. Edgeworth. I want your final opinion on the disposition of this crystal sphere. If it is not related to the case, then this witness, who you called, will have been nothing more than a monumental waste of time.
Prepare yourself for some very appropriate punishment, Miles Edgeworth.
Can I prove it? Can I prove that the crystal sphere was dropped before the murder took place? Of course I can. Can I prove it? That isn't the issue. To simply prove it, that's the only option. That's what he'd do. That's the way Phoenix Wright would do this. Your Honor, allow me to prove something for you. I will prove that this crystal sphere is a vital link to solving this case.
You will do what?
That look in your eyes. You remind me of Phoenix Wright when he is cornered.
That should come as no surprise, because right now I am Phoenix Wright, and I am indeed cornered.
I order you to present your evidence, Mr. Edgeworth. Evidence that proves that the crystal sphere was indeed dropped before the murder.
And I know exactly what evidence I need to prove this. Take that! This crystal sphere, it was half buried in the snow, correct?
That's right. If it hadn't stopped snowing, then it would have been game over. The snow would have totally covered it!
That's all I needed to hear from you, Larry. Your testimony makes one thing quite clear.
What?
When the crystal sphere was dropped, it was snowing, even if it was ever so slightly.
Snowing.
On the other hand, let us look at the scene of the murder. As proven earlier today, there is no snow on the victim's body.
Whoa!
Therefore, this crystal sphere must have been dropped before the murder.
Was?
Order, order, order!
On the night of the murder, the victim did indeed go to Dusky Bridge. And there, something occurred that caused this crystal sphere to come loose.
What could that have been?
This sphere, there is some blood on it, isn't there? Allow me to raise a certain possibility at this junction. The real crime scene was near the foot of Dusky Bridge.
Objection! The murder didn't take place in the Hazakura Temple courtyard. Only a fool would suggest such a foolish piece of absolute foolishness.
Just who is the fool? And which part is so foolish, Miss Von Karma?
Have you been paying any attention this whole time, Miles Edgeworth? The sister saw everything. She saw the victim being killed by the defendant in the Hazakura Temple courtyard.
Objection! That's not exactly true, now is it? To put it more precisely, what she saw was the murder weapon being removed from the victim's body.
That's the same thing!
No, it isn't. You said it yourself.
Very little blood is actually lost at the moment of blade's insertion. If you want to talk about when the most blood would be lost from the body, that would be when the blade is removed.
If that statement is the truth, then Dusky Bridge could very easily be the scene of the murder. The murder weapon was not removed, thus there was no bleeding.
Objection! You are forgetting one vital thing, Miles Edgeworth. Elistinim's body was found in the Hazakura Temple. On foot, it takes 15 minutes to travel from Dusky Bridge to Hazakura Temple. You mean to suggest someone carried the body all the way?
I've made it this far. The only place to take this is to the end. I just need to prove the possibility it happened as I presume.
Now, if the defense is ready, the court would like to have an explanation. Please show us the method by which the victim's body was carried to Hazakura Temple.
This is far too easy. Take that! On that snowy night, there is one way that a body could have been moved. The snowmobile. As we know, the snowmobile was used that night. It was explained as having been used to dispose of the murder weapon. But it could also have been used to carry a body.
Order, 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 go!
This is completely unacceptable, Miles Edgeworth. You dug yourself into your own grave.
What do you mean?
The only one who could have used the snowmobile was the defendant. She's the one who moves the body. Doesn't that put the final nail in your coffin?
You're too late, Franziska von Karma. And in fact, the defense has proven something else entirely. We have shown that this case requires further investigation.
Was?
Where was the victim, Elistinnim, really killed? If her body was moved, whatever for? And finally, just what does this image mean?
Do you even need to think about that?
Why did you whip my picture?
Such a creature could never see the truth, let alone describe it.
Objection! This witness certainly sits on one of the lowest possible branches of humanity. However, he would never utter a lie that would hurt a girl with whom he is enamored. He drew this, so it is something that actually happened. The defense stands firm on this point.
Edgy. Thank you.
That settles it then. I cannot give a verdict under these circumstances.
Right. I seem to have fulfilled my part in this. It is just as I thought. Franziska von Kammer, you make a wonderful partner.
Entschuldigen Sie?
There was one reason, and one alone, for me being here. To expose the darkness lurking in this case, and then pass it on to Wright.
Really? That's what this was all about? You could have just told me that from the very beginning! Then I wouldn't have Franzi with the ow.
Miles Edgeworth, I don't care what you were here to do. This was my chance to finally grind you under my heel.
A shame that your chance seems to have slipped by you.
What a Franzi!
This is all your fault. Such a terrible witness. You are an affront to all the legal system stands for. I demand satisfaction!
I cannot believe that the witness's testimony relates to an actual event. However, there has to be some sort of answer for the questions it raises. Have his words here today been the truth or lies? Next time we gather in this courtroom, those are the matters that shall be addressed. I am counting on thorough investigations by both the defense and the prosecution.
And with this, the rest is up to you, Wright?
Court is now adjourned.
I'm still up at this hour, reading through the trial record of a certain case. It's the first case my mentor Mia had ever handled in a court of law. A horrifying truth that I refuse to accept is holding me hostage here within its pages. Dahlia Hawthorne. What I have read, I don't want to believe. What is written here, this wasn't the Dahlia I knew. After falling into the Eagle River, I was somehow miraculously saved. But I ended up catching a cold that seemed to knock me around the world and back. I feel dizzy, my ears are ringing, my throat burns, and my head is on fire. But I will recover. I have to recover by this afternoon. I have to meet with the most ill-tempered witness imaginable. But I know that he will be able to help me. Somehow.
Right. Are you sure you're well enough to be doing this? You still look a little green in the face.
Or maybe Viridian and artist speak.
Actually, my fever's gone down quite a bit.
How's your temperature now?
Only under 2.2 degrees. Nothing to Anyway, I read today's trial record. You weren't bad, Edgeworth. Pretty impressive despite the circumstances.
We're not in the clear yet. The main point of contention tomorrow is going to be the murder weapon.
Yeah.
In the end, the Shichishito did not deliver the deadly blow, which means there must be another sword hiding out there that we don't know about.
Another sword, huh?
Oh, don't you worry about anything, pal. I'll dig up the murder weapon myself, or I'll eat my coat.
Thanks again, Edgeworth. I'll handle things from here.
That is probably for the best. Actually, I was thinking about paying the old precinct a little visit. There's something I want to look into.
And that is?
Our client's background, naturally.
You mean Iris, sir?
I have the feeling that we've met before.
You're not the only one.
All I want is confirmation, one way or the other. And since I probably won't be getting that from you...
I'm sorry, Edgeworth.
I bid you adieu, Wright? Take care.
Same to you, old friend.
Guess I should get moving too.
Why? Do you need to be somewhere?
Yeah, I've got to get to work on this bridge, pal. I'm rigging something up so we can get across to the other side.
That's right! Maya's still stuck over there at the inner temple.
But don't you worry, pal. As soon as it's all set, you'll be the first to know.
Thank you, Gumshoe.
No problem, pal. Just try not to give me that cough of yours, okay? I mean, geez, use a tissue.
I'll consider it.
All right, I'm off.
Hang in there, Maya. We'll get you out. I promise. But in the meantime, I've got to continue collecting evidence. Alright, where do I start? Entrance seems nice. Let's go there.
Come on, please! It's for art's sake, I swear!
There's only one guy I know who could be this persistent and high-strung.
I'm talking about the heroine here! The heroine in my book, You'll Be Famous! Ow!
Enough! A fool's fool, who foolishly accepts the foolishness of a fool's fool. Wouldn't you agree, Phoenix Wright?
Wait a second. I know you. You're,
Your reflexes and mind need to shape
My
up.
brain's fried like a sunny side up and you want to grill me over a name?
Franzi, you can't do that! Even as we speak, Nick's on the brink of death. Or so I'm told.
Of course. Isn't that one of your American sayings?
No, it's not. And I'm not on the brink of anything.
Come on, Nick! Tell her, would you? She must model for my picture book, Franzi's Whiplash Splash. Simple and magnificent. Ow!
Before you ask me to model, learn to at least give a semi-coherent testimony.
And before that, you'll have to learn how to live a semi-coherent life, Larry.
I don't care what anyone says, I'm telling the truth! I saw what I saw! She flew, I'm telling you! Whoosh! Like that dude with the red underwear. I think his name is Batman. Don't think I'm gonna forgive you guys when you come crawling back to apologize! Larry out, bitches!
Off he goes.
Phoenix Wright, it's been a year since we last met. A pleasure to see you again.
Hooray, more socializing. So, Franziska, have you been in Germany all this time?
That's right. Extending my perfect win record, naturally.
Oh joy, sounds like she hasn't changed a bit. Has it really been a year since we first met?
I am Franziska von Karma, the prodigy.
I see.
I gave up a promising career in Deutschland and came to this country for one sole reason. Revenge.
Franziska was born and raised in Germany and became a prosecutor at the age of 13. Her father was the legendary prosecutor Manfred von Karma. He had a perfect win record for 40 long years. But I sort of made him bang his head on a wall and now he's dead, so the rest is history. Don't tell me you still hold a grudge against me. Because of what happened to your father.
Phoenix Wright, you will fall before me. This I promise. But it will be for my sake, not for my father's. Are we clear?
Yes, Crystal. Okay, this is getting awkward. Let's change the subject.
In truth, I was shocked. I came back to America with the intention of defeating you. Instead, it was my little brother who was leading this offense.
Edgeworth. Come to think of it, Edgeworth was pulled into being a prosecutor by Manfred von Karma as well.
Miles Edgeworth told me something very interesting, you know. He said this case has a special significance to you.
Because it does.
And that's precisely why I'm here. Your personal involvement will make crushing you into teensy-weensy pieces all the better.
It's probably the fever, but she's so openly hostile, it's almost kind of cute.
No smirking!
No whipping the sick!
That foolish fool doing such a foolish favor for such a foolish fool.
Edgeworth.
Make no mistake, Phoenix Wright. I came here for one thing and one thing only, to pulverize you.
It's not like I thought you were here to bring me Cold Killer X, you know. What happened anyway?
I went over the whole case file on the flight over.
You read the whole thing?
Yeah, every last word of every last sentence of every last paragraph.
It's 300 pages. Why would you do that to yourself?
All the ridiculous things you did made a very interesting read, you know.
Really now?
Attempting to cross a burning bridge. Did you even consider the dangers?
No, actually. The only thought in my mind was, I have to get across.
A fool who doesn't sink is more foolish than a fool who foolishly sinks.
Gumshoe said he'd let me know once the bridge was repaired. Maya, she's got to be okay. I just know it. Plus, I need to ask her about what really happened at the Inner Temple that night. There's nothing else on my mind. Wait. Maybe she'll warm up to me if I give her this ball thing. Fuck it, why not? About this... Ow!
I refuse to help you, Phoenix Wright.
I should have known better than to try. Alright, let's get a move on before she does some BDSM shit. It was one long sigh. Sister Bikini?
My! I didn't know you were here. How are you doing?
You don't have to pretend to be in a good mood for my sake.
I suppose I've made a terrible mess of things, haven't I? I let Mystic Elise die, and then there's Iris as well.
Mystic Elise? Now that I think about it...
There's an acolyte stuck in the Inner Temple, and that poor little girl has gone missing, too.
That little girl? You don't mean Pearls, do you?
Yes, I'm afraid I do. She hasn't been seen since the morning after the incident.
Pearls? She's missing? Why didn't someone tell me about this earlier? I'm sick of shit. Iris is gone, someone's dead, and now Pearls is missing. Wonderful.
I must be getting old. I think I've seriously lost faith in myself.
Are you talking about your performance at the trial today?
You believe me, don't you? I'm not a liar. I would never lie. I know what I saw. I saw Iris pull that sword from Mystic Elise's body that night. I'm certain of it. At least, I was until this morning.
I don't see any Cyclops, so she must be telling the truth. So why are you so unsure of yourself all of a sudden?
You know that artist who testified after me? When I saw that man testify so fervently about something so impossible, I started to wonder if I had acted just like him when I was on the witness stand.
I wouldn't take that guy too seriously. He's an artist, but all he draws is trouble. Nothing else. If both Bikini and Larry are telling the truth, that can only mean one thing. They both didn't see what they think they saw. On the night of the incident, you met Iris at the Inner Temple. Is that correct?
That's right. I'm sure it was Iris.
But Iris claims she was in her room in Hazakura Temple.
I knew I shouldn't have come back here that night.
But because you did, Maya stuck at the Inner Temple.
I am so sorry. The drafts in that place are nothing to shake a stick at. Winter is especially bad.
I'll bet. The training hall looks like it's about to fall down any second.
Eagle Mountain has always been prone to earthquakes, just so you know.
Earthquakes?
Yes. I wouldn't be surprised if the next big one levels the training hall.
We've got to get Maya out of there. Fast!
But still, there's really no need to worry. That area on the other side of Dusky Bridge is isolated like an island.
It's like an island. How so?
Well, the only thing on that side of the bridge is the Inner Temple. No one lives out there, and it's surrounded on all sides by the river or the forest.
I see.
So a criminal would be trapped should they choose to flee in that direction. And as long as the bridge is out of commission, he or she will have to stay there.
That means Maya could be stuck out there with a murderer and no way to escape either!
Oh, shit!
Let's start project.